So artificial intelligence is everywhere now, right? It's making these huge, sometimes life-altering decisions for us. But what happens when we can't actually see its logic? Today, we're going to crack open that AI black box and ask a really critical question. How do we even begin to understand a mind that we ourselves created?
You know, AI really has this split personality. This quote just nails the paradox we're living in. We've got a tool that has the power to heal and save lives, but it also has the power to do some serious harm.
I mean, on one hand, AI can be this brilliant partner for doctors, sifting through mountains of data to find diseases that a human eye might just miss. It's incredible. But on the other hand, these very same systems can learn from all our human flaws, becoming these kind of flawed judges that just end up repeating our worst mistakes.
And this all leads us to the central mystery we have to solve. If we can't see the logic, if we can't follow the reasoning behind an AI's decision, how on earth can we ever truly trust it? Well, let's dive in and find out. Okay, so the heart of this issue is what everyone calls the black box problem. It's basically when a super powerful AI gives us an answer, loan denied, or this patient is high risk, but we have absolutely no clue how it got to that conclusion. The reasoning is totally, completely hidden from us. And you see, this isn't just some techie puzzle for engineers to solve. This lack of transparency has huge, real-world consequences. If we don't know the why, how can we check for bias? How can we fix mistakes? And who's held accountable when these systems affect our lives? But what if we could shine a light inside that box? That is the entire mission of a field called Explainable AI, or you'll hear it called XAI. It's really a quest for clarity in what's becoming a really complex world. The best way to think about XAI is like a bridge. It connects the insane computational power of an algorithm with the kind of nuanced judgment that really only a human can provide. Basically, it's all about turning that black box into a glass box. And this isn't just a nice to have. The need is becoming urgent. We need XAI so we can trust the systems that approve our loans, so we can audit algorithms and the justice system for hidden biases, and even to comply with laws like Europe's GDPR, which actually require transparency. So how do we actually get these explanations? How do investigators peek inside the machine's head and figure out what it's thinking?
Well, they tend to use two main strategies. A local explainer is kind of like a detective focusing on one single case, asking, why was this specific loan denied? But a global explainer is more like a profiler, trying to get the big picture and understand the AI's overall patterns and behaviors. One really popular technique is called LIME. Now, think of it like a detective who's experimenting with the evidence. It'll take a loan application and just slightly tweak the details, like what if the income was a little higher? What if the credit history was just a bit longer? By seeing which of those little changes flip the AI's decision from no to yes, LIME can pinpoint exactly which factors mattered most. Now, this brings up a really key distinction. The word interpretability means the model itself is simple by design, kind of like a basic car engine that you can pop the hood on and easily see how everything works. Explainability, on the other hand, is for a much more complex model, like a high-performance race car engine. We need special diagnostic tools just to translate what it's doing into something a mechanic can understand. And look, this isn't just some theory stuck in a research lab. XAI is already out there, being used to solve real-world problems, moving right into our daily lives. First up, let's head to the hospital, into the high-stakes world of medical diagnosis, where a single decision can literally change a person's life. Okay, so a deep learning model can look at a retinal scan and diagnose a disease. Cool. But here's where XAI changes the game. It creates a heat map, showing the doctor the exact pixels on that scan that the AI thought were suspicious. It's not just giving an answer, it's providing visual proof. All right, next case file. Let's look at a financial decision that affects millions of us. Trying to get a loan. In the past, if you were denied, you just got a no. That's it. But with XAI, a bank can now give you clear, actionable reasons. Things like, hey, the application was denied because of a high debt-to-income ratio and a short credit history. This actually empowers the customer, and it makes sure the bank is being fair and compliant. But, as powerful as Explainable AI is, the case isn't fully closed. Not by a long shot. There are still some major unsolved mysteries and some really critical challenges ahead that we have to tackle. And this brings us to the fundamental tension in this whole field. It turns out that the AI models that perform the best, I'm talking about those massive deep learning networks, are almost always the most opaque, the absolute hardest ones to understand. And you can see that classic trade-off right here. On one side, you've got these powerful deep learning models. They're incredibly accurate, but way down on the explainability scale. On the other side, simpler models like decision trees are super easy to explain, but they often lack that same predictive power. So we're always trying to find the right balance. You know, at the end of the day, this whole quest for explainable AI, it isn't just about debugging code. It's really part of a much bigger commitment to building responsible, ethical technology that serves all of us fairly and safely. And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. As these systems get woven deeper and deeper into our society, we all have to decide where we draw the line. How much clarity are we willing to sacrifice for a little more power? The answer is not simple, and it's something we're all going to be debating for years to come.